Hi guys, welcome to Rush in Alexandria. So today I want to discuss the rules, which is something that Carolyn Bassett Kennedy allegedly adhered to. And if you find this video helpful, please subscribe. It really helps the channel. So the rules is a book in which the authors Ellen Fein and Sherry Schneider talk about how to capture the heart of Mr. Right, and they were time tested secrets. It was published in 1995. The overarching principle is that a girl should be easy to be with but hard to get, and they have like more than 30 rules. I personally found some of them to be very helpful, and it made me see the dating scene in a very new light. So, traditionally, in a lot of families or in a lot of countries, arranged marriages are still pretty prevalent, and now as a lot of educated women are moving into the dating scene, it becomes very difficult to really navigate it. Like, a lot of them don't really understand how to date because we haven't been really told how to date or how to be. So the first rule is be a creature unlike any other. So this is not about being the prettiest or the most popular girl, but it's about having confidence and the self-esteem no matter what else is going on in your life, right? It's about having this dignity or not always feeling anxious or jealous or negative or cynical, right? She believes in love even after a breakup. She would never say that there's no one good at a singles event, basically doing what you can with what you have and not really wishing that you were someone else, right? Being optimistic, not complaining. And even though your life is not going the way you wanted it to be, you still show up with a hot outfit and a smile on your face. You just live your life despite the bad dating scene or the bad dates. It's just doing your best. The second rule states that you should look like a creature unlike any other. Having good makeup, having good clothes that fit you. The authors say that men want to feel like they're dating a model or a celebrity. So look like one. So I think that's good advice, right? Everyone knows that men are obsessed with looks. So this makes sense. I was actually listening to this podcast, and there was this guy, he was running a website of matrimonial website, and he says the first thing that guys do, they look at your profile pictures, and the first thing that women do is that they look at like the salary. Rule 3, it is a waste of time to chase guys. A lot of guys have very particular kind of things that they want. You might not be someone who really adheres to this image that they have, or basically you're not their type. So it doesn't matter how wonderful they are if they're only attracted to blondes or brunettes, right? Or redheads. It's not about what you did, it's just something that's not there, or you're just not someone that they feel attracted to. So it doesn't matter if you really go and talk to them, because you're trying to create a situation that otherwise would not have happened. So this also segues into rule 4, don't ask guys out by text or on Facebook. What the book says is you cannot even suggest having coffee with a guy, because men are quite different and they love a challenge and this feeling of pursuing. The authors use the example of hunting. Like, if there is a deer and it comes and lays down in front of your porch, you won't feel that thrill. But if you have to seek that deer across the forest, then have this thrill, this chase, right? Like, I think this is quite similar to the IKEA feeling, that if you're building something, and in this case that could be the relationship, the emotional part of it, you will feel invested long term. But what happens is, when you are texting first or talking to a guy first and asking them out, this destroys the chase and really works out. Men know exactly what their type is and look is, and they go after it. And in the book, the authors say that if you ask a guy out, he may say yes to be polite for sex or out of boredom, but eventually he will drop you for the girl he really likes. And I agree with that. So I have had instances where I have asked a guy out and it hasn't really led to anything. The fifth rule, don't sit or stand next to a guy first or flirt with him first. So this, I think, connects very nicely to the fourth rule. Is kind of futile as a way to get him to notice you, and it is a complete waste of time, because ultimately, if he had liked you enough, he would have come to you first. It's because they started the relationship, the authors say, and if they hadn't, nothing would have happened, because the guy wasn't really that into them. Sixth rule is that we should or wait at least 4 hours to answer guy's first text and a minimum of 30 minutes thereafter to answer the second one. If you answer in like 4 hours, the guy is constantly thinking about you for those 4 hours. And it builds this kind of anticipation and it forces him to ask you, like, take the initiative. And that also flows into this thrill of the chase kind of thing. Rule 7 is always everything first, get out of there. So I love this rule. This reminds me of how to lose a guy in 10 days, right? You're being so clingy in the sense that you want to spend as much time together as possible. So you're unconsciously being clingy. But the thing is, if you left abruptly, he would think about you more. Instead of the guy leaving first, the way I look at it is someone has to leave first. So you leave first rather than the guy leaving first. Okay, this is the equivalent of at night people being drop the call or you drop the call, and that back and forth that people perceive to be very romantic. But in the sense, after talking for 10-20 minutes, you just leave the call and he will spend the whole night thinking about you. It also maintains the mystery for a longer period of time and helps in building that emotional, like, if you do it, you stand out from the crowd. So overall, the way we have seen rules play out, they're talking about very basic things, but things that we are not doing. The eighth rule is don't text or answer anything after midnight. So this is the book the authors talk about. This is basically about guys treating you with respect. That you are busy, you have your own life, and you won't break any of these rules to be with him. And if he wants to date you, he has to respect your rules and ultimately you. Rule 7 is a bit outdated, but it can apply to Instagram as well. Basically, the rule says really write on his wall and on other social media. And a lot of people are hesitant how to engage on these social media platforms. A guy is liking all your stories and posts. Does that mean he likes you? If you follow all the rules, so you can't send him the first message, so you can't friend him, you can't write on his wall. When he does friend you or send you a friend request on Instagram, what you can do is accept it. Do you like all his posts? But I think you retain the power when you only like certain amount of his posts. Like, he should not get into his brain that you will like every one of his posts, right? So you're not being taken for granted. The rules are all about being a challenge and basically disappearing between dates. So a guy doesn't know what you're doing every minute he's not with you. Creates that sense of mystery. Like, and you like to solve mysteries. The point is to be elusive in a way. But it is also about having self-control. Rule 11 is don't email a guy first and keep it brief. It could also apply to messages or on Instagram or WhatsApp. And the authors say that rules girls don't need to ask for attention. They naturally get it by being busy, too busy to email guys. As with any other communication, being obvious and emailing first or sending these obvious messages like humongous messages, it basically screams cries for attention. Think of me, remember me. The guy should have the impression that you have better ways to spend your time. Rule 13 is don't talk too much in the first few weeks. The authors say that women are often insulted when they tell them that they spill too much in the first few weeks or in texts in general. They argue that if you want to bond with a guy, talk and text less, laugh and listen more. And this is pretty solid life advice, I would say. But if you are a good listener and everyone loves good listening, he will be pleasantly surprised. And the other benefit is he will be thinking and he will be wondering what you are thinking. So I think that is also something that creates this respectful dynamic in a relationship. Don't hang out or see him 24/7. Don't hang out with him constantly. And if you agree to hang out, it should not be with a few hours notice, and I think it should be a few days notice. You should not become this last minute girl. Like, if the guy doesn't have anything going on, then he can just call you. You should be the gal that he makes all these restaurant reservations for. And the authors have something good to say. A guy will get away with the least possible effort whenever you can. Don't be plan B. And you must silently show a guy that he has to work to get you. Rule 15 says let him suggest Skype and the guy should visit you more. They give the example of a woman who was only keeping the relationship alive. She moved to a different city for a guy, but ultimately the guy wasn't really interested and the relationship fizzled out. Rule 16, don't lose your friends because you're so obsessed with a guy. I found it to be very important that a guy has to see that you're too busy to be thinking about him and what you're so busy with all the time. You're busy having fun with your girlfriends, right? You're going to training sessions, gyms, other girls' trips, you're having dinners. You have a full life outside of him that's very fulfilling. And it's a general good rule for life as well, having relationships that fulfill you. Rule 17, don't introduce a guy to anyone first. Invite him anywhere first, or friend his friends first. So, the authors say that this can be interpreted as borderline stalkerish behavior and might scare the guy away. And it might even make a guy who pursued you first feel suffocated. Let the guy take the initiative first, and if he doesn't, then you know he's not the one. Rule 18, don't write to guys first, ignore wings and other rules for online dating. The authors say that this is the equivalent of looking at you at a party but not approaching or speaking to you. In other words, a big nothing. I think this also extends to likes on Instagram, DMs, friend requests. So, for a long time, I was also thinking about this. If a guy is consistently liking your posts on Instagram or being pretty friendly, but ultimately, it doesn't matter. He's not doing anything. So, he doesn't really care that much. And why should you? And I wonder if this applies to other social media platforms as well. And if it does, please add in the comments. Rule 19, don't pay for dinner or buy his love in any way. When you give too much in the beginning of the relationship, the authors say, a guy will sense it and lose interest. The authors say that in this way, you become the pursuer. And guys also don't want to be supported, even if they initially like this generosity. Don't do it, keep your money safe, invest it. Rule 19, don't choose a college or a job or relocate because of a guy. This again comes back to having this respect and putting yourself first. You are the most important person in your life. Rule 21, don't get wasted on dates or at parties. So you don't say or do anything you will regret. Rule 22, buyer beware. Weeding out bad guys, cheaters, addicts, players, and time wasters. If the guy does not adhere to the above rules, then he won't really be this good guy. So the authors say the rules are not just about getting a guy, but someone with good character you can trust who will hopefully make a good boyfriend or future husband. The authors say one of the reasons they tell women to talk and text less is so they listen more, read more, and notice what may not be good or bad about a guy. Rule 23, don't be self destructive by dating married, unavailable, and other mixed messages guys. The authors talk about this as well, that heartbreak always outweighs the kind dates and forbidden sex. Rule 24, stop dating a guy who cancels more than once. And it also can indicate that he's just not into you, that the girl he really likes becomes suddenly available. So why should you waste your time, right? You're the most important person in your life, and if a guy isn't treating you as such, why should you care? Rule 25, don't sext or send a guy anything you wouldn't want him to have if you break up. The authors say that we should never let our guard down or give any guy any ammunition to hurt you. So have safeguards. And rule 26, don't accept booty calls or meaningless hookups. The authors say that one should not dignify booty call texts with an answer and definitely shouldn't waste time thinking about those. A booty call invitation is an insult and a woman shouldn't feel flattered by it. He doesn't deserve a response. Rule 27, wait before sleeping with a guy. Rules girl make guys wait to help them fall in love with you, your soul and essence, not just your body. So the way they frame is that the guys will form a sexual connection with you before they form an emotional connection with you, and that will limit the future of your relationship and slowly building that intimacy. But they say that if it's more than 3 months, that you should be upfront, or if you want to wait after marriage, that you should be upfront. I don't think there's a problem in any of these approaches, but the honesty part is important, and you have to be confident to be able to say that, yeah, this is what I want, and that also makes you a creature like none other. If the guy is good, I think he'll respect you for it. Rule 28 says don't put on the freshman 15, go to the gym, and other rules for looking good at every age. This is about losing weight, but I take it to be about being in shape. Rule 29, wait for a guy to follow you on Twitter first and really return tweets. Rule 30, don't date indefinitely without a commitment. So the authors say that the girls who follow the rules, they are not suggesting couples therapy. They just disappear and give him all the space he wants until he misses them enough to propose or not. And the authors say that the truth is that a guy will usually know in the first few dates if he can see himself marrying you or not. The rest of the relationship is just a lot of details. Rule 31, next, and other rules for dealing with rejection. The authors say that if a relationship doesn't work, it's because it just wasn't good for you. I think that's kind advice at the end. I was able to learn a lot reading these rules. If you found the video helpful, please subscribe. It's useful for the channel and it will help me in making more videos. And if you really want to look deeper into the rules, read the book. There is a lot of stuff I couldn't add just because of copyright, and also because it's also important to read how it was intended to be read by the authors. But what about a guy's perspective? So the name of the book that I was thinking of reviewing was Fuck Him, Nice Girls Always Finish Single. And let me know if you want me to look into that. Maybe if you want, follow the rules. Thank you so much.